Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about a few things related to real estate, what is REIT, what are the REITs available in India, and an overvalued stock which I think is going to fall. So a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm not a financial planner or an advisor or a CB registered personnel, so if you want to take any of these advices, please consider a financial planner or advisor for anything related to that sort. And now let's get started. So firstly, it's not the right time to buy any real estate. According to the Indian Express, I'm not saying this. It's not the right time for investing in real estate. Now, experts are not in favor of buying a second home for investment. See, investing. If you are buying a residential property, that's a completely different topic. We're talking about investment. This is for the people who are wanting to invest in real estate right now. It's not the right time. I'll give you the reasons, and I'm using this website, so I'll leave the links down below for all the websites that I'm using if you guys want to read it on your own. Now, this paper is by Vivekananda Biswas from Express News Service, so a shout out to him. Now let's get started. In New Delhi, it's going to be costing more to produce the house rather than buying the land in many areas, because lands are getting cheaper. According to me, the loans interest rates are also following, and the FD rates are rising. So it's a very typical kind of scenario. The property prices are increasing in certain areas exponentially. The property production prices are increasing in other parts exponentially. So it's a very difficult to understand scenario. But me being a property expert and it being in my genes from my grandfather, I really understand this market well. So I wanted to explain you in this video why it is not the right time to invest in properties. If you're trading properties, keep your only 30% capital that you usually use to trade. If that figure is more than 10 crores, 30% figure is more than 10 crores, try investing 30% into multiple properties, because that's going to give you much better return than investing in one single property, or trading in one single property. I used the wrong term. Trading in one single property. Now, buying a home is not the right thing to do right now. Like, many developers projects are gonna fail, I know this for sure, because the recession is here. It's real and it is coming. Everybody is talking about it, everybody knows about it. And guys, save your money and please stay safe, because it's gonna be deadly this time. The housing crash is gonna kill various economies. It's very serious. Buying versus investing. Now we're going to talk about that. Buying versus investing. What is buying? Like, if you want to stay in a house, you buy it and you use that property as your own property in order for self consumption. That is buying. Investing is like, that is creating another cash flow for you. Like, it is giving you recurring payments or something like a dividend. So that is investing. For example, if you invest in a property, it's going to give you either a rental yield or it's going to grow by a, let's say if you buy a property, it appreciates by 10% each year. Hypothetical figures again. So moving further, if you guys want to read it, the link is in the description, so be sure to check that out if you want to read it. Low return on investment. Now see, you're gonna obviously sell a property in like 5 years, right? If you, unless you're trading, if you're investing, see, return on investment. So if you're investing in a property for 5 years, so you expect like a uh, you know 30% return minimal. But since there's a bubble, so we don't know how long that bubble will last. For example, in 2008 market housing crash, it took 3 years, like 2008, 9 and 10, to recover from the whole crash. So it was a very long deal. You don't know how much you want to commit. So right now is not the right time to invest. So now, what's fueling the real estate market? Now, see, according to me, whatever is written here is only 1% of what is fueling the real estate market. It is a lot more commoditized than this seems. The stamp duty is not being paid. People are using black money, and apart from that, government people are also being bribed in order to attain properties, contracts, and whatnot, in order to make humongous profits for the business personnel. Also, the same follows for the road contracts. I have first hand experience in this field, so I know this very well. So majorly these are the things that are fueling the real estate market right now, and that is driving the prices up. Now this is the sales data and the city wise price card according to this website. I completely agree with it up to 80%. So this is like 20% wrong data apart from, you know, the realistic data, because this data was published in January and March, and this data is not realistic in terms with, you know, the November December data. So moving ahead to what is REIT, how they work, and how to invest in it. So REIT is realistically the real estate investment trust. Now if you have read about it, then well and good. If you've not read about it, please make sure to stick till the end, because you're gonna gather a lot of knowledge about what is this and how they work. So basically a company that owns or operate finances or income generating real estate. Okay, so what is the REIT? It is a real estate mutual investment trust that owns, basically in normal words or layman terms, it owns properties or real estate, and it provides them the dividend, which is in these cases a rental income. Okay, so you as a shareholder of this company, as a shareholder, get dividend in the stock market. Okay, once again, REIT or Real Estate Investment Trust is a company that is listed on the stock exchange, okay, that buys properties or real estate using your fund. You being a shareholder are going to fund the company, right? So they use your fund, buy properties, they receive the rental yield, or they get money from the mortgage or something else, which we're going to discuss later on the video, and they pay you that money after cutting their own expertise fees or commission, you may say. They give you 90% of that in the form of dividend usually. Okay, so how do they work really? So that I just explained, that is their infrastructure. They were mainly established in 1960s uh, as an amendment to cigar excise tax extension. So this is a very good thing. If you guys want to read it, you can read it. I'm going to be moving ahead. So what qualifies as an REIT? So anything that invests at least 75% of their total assets in real estate or cash or US treasuries, derives 75% of their gross income from rents, interest, or mortgages that finance real estate property or real estate sales. You can read this all, I'm not going to be reading it. And what are the types of REITs? This is the main concept of discussion right here. Now this is the main thing. So equity REITs, as I told you earlier, equity in terms of real estate and equity in terms of share market are two different things. Now equity in real estate means the rental yield that the property is creating, or the recurring payment the property is creating towards you, okay, as a owner. And equity in the stock market means basically the equity shares that you are purchasing or you have purchased. So in case of REITs, you receive rents. So once you're receiving rents, it is considered as an equity REIT. If you're using mortgage backed securities for your investments, then it is considered as a mortgage REIT. What are hybrid REITs? The third option. They use both equity and mortgage methods of investment. So you can read this as well if you guys want to. What is a public? Now these are like REITs that you can buy or not buy. Okay, that was how do they work. Now this is which you can buy or not buy. Firstly, the ones that are publicly traded, these are listed on the stock exchange. You can freely buy and sell them anytime you as you feel like. Public non-traded REITs, these are not traded with the public. They are less liquid and they still tend to be more stable because they are not subject to market fluctuations, because the investors are stable. Okay, now let's move ahead to private REITs. Private REITs are those type of REITs that are institutional owned, or basically institutional investors own a percentage or a major chunk of them. They do not trade anywhere, and they manage a private fund. Now, how to invest in REITs? There are mutual funds and there's like buying shares directly. That's just two options. Now, coming to the pros and cons of REITs. Now, there are majorly two to three pros and cons. So let me just explain them to you in a layman terms. They're gonna provide you stable return each income, and even if the market is crashing, they generally provide dividend in each and every case. Now, coming back to the cons, if there is a fluctuation in the market related to the real estate kind, so they're gonna fall substantially and they can drop like 5% or 6% in one single day in that scenario. And I've seen this happen, and there's a lot of fluctuation. We're gonna be seeing that in the later end of the video, like why do they fall or how do they fall. So if you guys just want to see, I'll just show you, like, see, 1 day candle, it moved from 454 to 315. That's a pretty big jump, right? These kind of things happen because major number of big institutional investors and big people are always invested in these firms. So once they decide to sell their stock in this company, it creates a very big problem for the you know non-institutional investors. It creates jobs, and this is very less taxable than your actual income, then again from the real estate. And one more thing, this requires way less knowledge if you want to invest in real estate, and it's an easy way for people who don't know have that big of a money or that much knowledge, or don't want to pay stamp duty or other things on their own, or do not want to take their investment decisions on their own, or do not have that expertise in that field. So that's basically it. What is the REIT fraud? REIT frauds are very minimal these days. Earlier they used to happen like in huge sums, but in India we have rarely seen any REIT frauds. So yep, unless it is registered with SEBI or SEC in terms of USA and SEBI in terms of India, you should not be investing in that REIT, because if it's a private REIT, you have no idea how they're functioning unless you know the people very well and you have signed the paperwork properly after doing your due diligence. And in case of publicly non-traded REITs, the same concept applies for the that I told for the private REITs. But in case of a publicly and exchange traded REIT, you are free to do whatever you want, because even if you are buying the stake in the company privately, it's gonna be very much good for you, because there's not gonna be much you know messed up or blurry information they're gonna provide to you, or window dressing that they can do. Real world example of REIT. Now that I'm gonna give you with Indian terms, these are all US terms, so it's not gonna be very good for you to understand. What does REIT stand for? You guys all know that now by now. What does REIT do? REITs have to pay dividends. You know that, and as I told you, pay out 70% or more of their taxable profits. Sorry, 90%. I told 70%. Sorry. What is paperclip REIT? So guys, paperclip REIT increases the tax advantages afforded to REIT while allowing it to operate properties that such trust normally cannot run. Okay, so paperclip is a very technical term. If you guys want to read about it, you can read it from here. I'll leave the link in the description. I'm not going to be explaining this in this video because the video will become too long. So now there are only three REITs listed in India. One is Brookfield, one is from Mindspace, and one is from Embassy. One is Embassy. Okay. From Brookfield, now it is already falling, guys. As I told you, the recession is real. You can see that the fall is real, and it's already falling. And I'm not gonna be recommending you to invest in it right now. If it reaches the 260 level, then invest in it, guys. By all means, invest in it. 260 is very gonna be undervalued for this REIT, and right now even it is undervalued. So if you guys want to start acquiring your stake, you can start acquiring between from this range to this range. This is the range you want to acquire your major chunk of the stock, because big institutional investors are also going to be acquiring in this range only, because this is the starting price and this is like the area where it took a longest time to stay and then move up. And see, it's creating a resistance from here. So if it is about to reach here, in case it's about to fly and it's about to reach here, start shorting from here, because it's gonna be coming down. So now coming to Mindspace. You can see the real estate crash is coming. The 50 EMA is crossing the 200 EMA, and same can be seen here from upside. So it's gonna create a crash, and as I told you, this is a big volatility, and this is major for this kind of a stock, and this is very unstable right now. So if you guys want to short this stock, I would recommend shorting it. Where would I recommend shorting it? Give me 1 second. Um, okay. So this is the range where you want to accumulate the stock if you want to accumulate it, and if it falls below, then 300 is our. Wait 1 second, what that happened? 300 is our SL, or at this point, whatever you want to consider. This is our SL, and this is our highest point. If it's going above this, shorting is gonna result in profits. If there is a carry forward rate, just pay it and move ahead, because yes, consider it profitable. Uh, right now, if you want to acquire. I'm gonna majorly be acquiring in this range, 300 to 317 range, because I know that this cannot go below that. And right now I'm seeing that, yep, it's gonna go fall below that. If you guys want to start acquiring, this is a good range. I think I'm also gonna acquire. Yeah, I'm also gonna start acquiring in like the 320 area, 320 to 300. I'm gonna be acquiring this stock. This is a good stock to invest in right now. Now, embassy office real estate, fund. So, according to this chart, quite frankly speaking, this chart wants to reverse. Yep, it is showing a strong downtrend, but according to me, this chart wants to reverse. Why does it want to reverse? Let me check. The magnet should be on. Yep, I was right in my analysis, guys. This chart does really want to reverse. It's kind of okay, but if I consider this like an actual line, this is not completely right, guys, to be very honest. This is not a good trend line, so I'm just not gonna use it. But yeah, this chart definitely wants to reverse from this point, but I don't think it's gonna reverse, because the real estate crash is gonna kill this as well. But since this is an embassy office REIT, it's very much stable. So according to me, what I'm thinking is, let's acquire the stock right now. Yeah. Mm, yes, yes, yes. You can acquire the stock from this to this range, and this is our maximum end in case this stock flies, and we're gonna sell it right here. And if you guys want to keep these stocks for long run, then guys, by all means, buy them right now. Don't think twice, just buy them, because these stocks are going to give you exponential returns in the long term, because these REITs are exponentially going to do well in the decade range. It's going to do brilliant for you guys. It's going to give you way too much dividend for you to digest. So let me just show you how much dividend this gave. 5 rupees. That's pretty big deal. And let me show you this much. 4.75, that's also pretty much a very big deal. 5.1 rupees, that's also pretty much very big deal, guys. If you guys wanna, okay, this is giving consistent returns. Wait a minute, I haven't checked these things before, and they are all profitable. Okay, good, good, guys. Very nice. You should invest. You should really invest now, according to me. Whatever lines are shown, start investing. This is a very good, very good opportunity. And if the recession comes, blindly invest in these, because they're gonna do well in the long run. Now, talking about the overvalued stocks, there's just one I want to talk about mainly. REITs. See, guys, I'm gonna be very honest with you. This is one of the stocks I had been bullish on from a very long time, and I just saw that this is happening, and I wanted to show you guys that this is an sorry, head and shoulder. Where do I show you head and shoulder? Yeah, wait a minute. It's not gonna be exact, so don't worry. If you guys are willing to, you know, get that exact thing, I cannot do that right now. But this is gonna go down. This is the head and shoulder again, And one more thing, it is near the support range. Okay, these two, okay, actually mark this whole area as the support range. So if it is going to be shorted, start shorting it right away. I'll suggest, and I'm going to be shorting it once it is below the 50 EMA, because I personally, go by my own analysis. So I'm going to be shorting it below the 50 EMA. If you guys also want to short, then I'm going to be marking this line as a shorting area. 360, once as soon as it reaches below 360, start shorting. And guys, this head and shoulder is pretty strong and it's gonna go down for sure. So start shorting, guys. This is a short opportunity for all the traders that have been asking me about the short opportunities. And right now I'm not being much active on Telegram. So if you guys want me to be active on Telegram, please leave a comment saying that you want me to be active on Telegram, and I'll be more active. But see that there's a head and shoulder, and I have seen this, the stock has been overvalued right now. And see that the RSI is also pretty high in this level. Wait 1 second, I'll show you what the RSI level states. The 84 mark. Okay, so this is pretty high, right? So if you guys want to short this. Now, thank you guys for watching today's video, and if you guys really enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you guys have any suggestions for me for the next videos, or what you want topics in general, leave them down below and I'll surely consider them and make the next video on that topic itself. Thank you guys again, and peace out.